Hello. I'm going to be sharing my discipleship project for this term and the reason why I chose it. I chose to be a true disciple of Jesus Christ and strive to develop all his attributes. And I'm aware that this is a lifelong commitment, but I also realize by setting some goals that I can be able to track my change and also to realize what I need to change. I know that Jesus Christ was a perfect example for us, and for me to be a good person in the society, in my family, and everywhere I am, is that I have to follow his example. With this, I made 5 goals. And the first one was to say a meaningful prayer every morning. This is something that I've struggled with for a while. That sometimes I just say a prayer because I needed to say it, but I wanted to prepare spiritually before I can say one. I also set a goal to read at least one chapter of scripture a day. And this is also something that I've always wanted to work on so that I can be able to develop a steady scripture study. I also set a goal of do at least one act of service each day. And that's something else that can also help me to serve and help others. And also, my fifth goal was to reach out to someone in need. So, each day. So I also have the weekly goals, and this I set to go to church without failing, just to eliminate any excuses that sometimes we may have to miss a sacrament meeting. And also the monthly one was going to be according to reading so that I can at least finish one book in the scriptures. So I was able to track my progress. And here I did put one for every day I was able to um, achieve my goals. And yeah, so this is about prayer and then scripture study and then help, service, and then also reach out to someone in need. And prayer was something that I really realized that I really got to work on a lot and I have so much progress and I feel so different. I feel like my prayers are intentional and um, very meaningful because I prepare spiritually before I say them every morning, not just to check. And also I try to read a chapter a day. Some days, like this day, I had like a busy schedule and end up not doing my scripture study. And when I did, what I did the next day is that I would um, read the chapter I was supposed to read a day before and the one for that day. That did help me. Like I did set a consequence to myself to just, deprive myself of something that I like to do so that I can do things that I failed to do. And I tried to do that. And also with service, I didn't get much progress, but I realized that if I need to serve others, I need to look for opportunities to serve. And that is something that I was working on in this term, that some days I was successful and some days I wasn't. And also to reach out to somebody, I tried a lot. Like I had days that I was not successful, and I tried to do the same thing that I did with scriptures to try to compensate the next day instead of reaching out to one person and just reach out for one more person. And overall, I realized that all the goals I set, many of them were met, especially like church. I haven't really missed church ever since I set these goals. And I was able to actually finish 4 books in the Old Testament already, which is a great progress for just this uh, period of 2 months. And also I realized that my morning prayers were really great. Like seeing these numbers, it just represented the change in my life that I was able to achieve because of these goals I set, and also because of the accountability. I'm also grateful for my accountability partners that did really help me to be accountable for these goals I set and to make sure that I really do meet them, and also to apply some consequential parts so that I can better myself. Um, um, the other question was, did I become the person I wanted to become? I believe that I um, became more spiritually aware than I was before, that I did create time for my scripture study and spiritual part that I really wanted to focus on. And that wouldn't happen if I didn't set those goals and really aim myself to achieve them. Things that I would do differently is to build a plan. I think planning was one thing that I really struggled a lot with it, like to plan before and be specific with what I wanted to do, especially with service and also reaching out to people so that I am able to apply what I wanted to do. So that is something that I would do better next time. Um, Something else that I would do better the next time is to really not procrastinate, just to make my goals priorities that I need to do them. Two things I did learn about accountability is that without accountability, then we cannot measure the progress of anything that we may be working on. We also do not value or even get proper good or bad consequences of things that we're doing. So accountability helps us to see ways that we can change and become better. Another thing that I've learned about accountability is that it helps us to become more honest people with our dealing, and that's something that I loved with this project. Thank you very much.